Good evening. Let me pull up.
And I'll actually start with a few housekeeping things first, and then I'll kick it over to you to share your screen.
Perfect.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the Western Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. We're excited that you're here. We have a great group of speakers and colleges lined up for you this evening. So I'm just going to run through a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay, though. If for some reason you can't or run into issues, just send us a message using that Q&A button on your screen, and we'll be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that is really your best way to engage with our presenters this evening. So as you have questions throughout the session, drop those in the Q&A. We will be monitoring those throughout the whole session and are happy to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to ask questions starting now, before a college presents, while they're presenting, and after. We will be monitoring those the whole time. Don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered, so be sure to check the StriveScan website for additional sessions you might be interested in. And then we are recording this presentation, and it will be available within about a week on the StriveScan website. So before I kick it over to our presenters, I just want to run through what the schedule looks like for tonight. So we are at the top middle session C3. We have 6 colleges you'll be hearing from. First is Arizona State University, then Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Northern Arizona University, Prescott College, the University of Arizona, and the University of Arizona College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Arizona State University to kick things off.
I'm unmuted. There we go. So thank you for joining me this evening. I, along with my awesome coworker serving students in the Inland Empire, will be helping with questions and moderating. So welcome, future Sun Devils and those interested in ASU. My name is Lala Lassiter, and I am one of the many California regionals that get to live in California and recruit students from various cities to attend ASU. I currently live in San Jose, and I serve students in the South Bay, Central Valley, and the Central Coast. So behind the scenes, I have my coworker Adriana. So she serves students in the Riverside and San Bernardino areas of the Inland Empire. So I'm going to begin with our charter. I think this is what sets us apart from other universities. I'll let you guys read the slide, but just to sum it up, at ASU, we measure students not by who we exclude, but whom we include and how they succeed. So at Arizona State University, we have students from everywhere, all 50 states, over 100 countries. These students are coming up with their own businesses, their own apps. They are studying abroad. They are coming up with their own inventions. These students are involved socially, locally, globally, and they are trying to help solve real world problems. This is what I love about ASU students, is that they come from everywhere and they're very much involved and engaged with just everything going on in the world, and they want to make the world a better place. And so this is why they come to ASU to study kind of one of the many majors that we have to get their experience, so then that way they can go back into the world and make a difference. So rankings, we are #1 in the US for innovation. So for about the 6th year now, we knocked out some top universities. This is very important to us because we didn't give this title to ourselves. Other higher ed professionals and professors and deans, they saw the type of professors that are at our campus, the type of students, and just the research projects we are engaged in, and they gave us this title. So we're very proud of this. Students, like I said, are very creative. They come up with their own apps, inventions, and they're just doing a lot of cool things on our campuses and off campuses abroad. We are #4 public university for first year experience, along with undergraduate education. So at ASU, you do get the quality of education you pay for. We do provide an amazing first year experience, whether it's D1 sports, club sports, having over 1,000 student clubs, research opportunities. We are a Tier 1 research institution. And just so many ways to get involved and make a difference, along with making friends and studying the major that you want. So location is very important. And so if you look kind of at this map, We have 4 campuses in the greater Phoenix area. So we do have 350 plus majors. We can't fit all of those students and all of those majors at one campus. And this is why we kind of branched out and we have multiple campuses. So for this reason, we want to provide different experiences to students for whatever kind of student you are, whatever major that you want. All of these campuses are located in different cities, different parts of Arizona, and they have different student populations. And so we like this because, like I said, we are very diverse, we're very flexible, and we want to just provide an experience for everyone. Scottsdale is ranked the #1 place to find a job in the US. Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the US. So how cool that we have 4 universities within the greater Phoenix area, and that you guys are right in the heart of the capital of Arizona, where there's just so many Fortune 1000 companies and just top companies coming to hire, our Sun Devils. In addition to having 41,000 plus acres of land, the state of Arizona is beautiful. Outside of the summer temperatures, the average temperature is about 75 degrees. All our campuses do have like 2 pools, so you can take advantage of good weather, dressing like the summer all the time, and swimming. So these are pictures of our campuses. Downtown Phoenix, you'll see our professional type of majors: nursing, journalism, exercise science, government, public service, and public policy. Polytechnic, you see some engineering, some education. Tempe, you see sustainability, music, theater, dance, architecture, business, teaching. West Campus has psychology, humanities, and liberal arts, race and cultural studies. So these are just our campuses and kind of what they offer. Community, we're very big on community at ASU. We want you to feel like you have a home away from home. We have 7 student coalitions, 1,000 plus club and organizations, 14 dorms, and 65 plus religious organizations. So you can get involved, whether it's religious, educational, race or cultural, whether it's sports or athletic, or pertaining to your major. We kind of have everything for everybody, from Taco Tuesday clubs, Harry Potter and Quidditch clubs, to kayaking clubs, garden clubs, and video gaming clubs. So Barrett is our top ranked honors college. Many students from out of state simply come to ASU for our honors college. It receives the gold seal and the gold standard. These are amazing students. These students are top students at high schools. That doesn't mean that they only choose the top students. What I do like about Barrett is that they provide a holistic review. So we have to write essays, provide letters of recommendation, along with getting admitted to ASU. And so you can kind of look on the slide to see the kind of students that apply there. And 30% of these students are out-of-state residents. So how do you become a Sun Devil? This is the reason why you're here. We have an application on our website. So we have an ASU Sun Devil app, a coalition app, and on the Common app. For our out-of-state students, we do want you guys to self-report your grades for a faster admission decision. And you can send in SAT scores, ACT scores. If you have them, if you don't, don't worry. We're not using those for admission for the most part. Go to our degree website. Everything is on our website. We do host a lot of live and virtual experience, and we are open for on-campus tours, self-guided and mobile tours. So come visit us. Thank you for tuning in, and go Devils.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. But while I do that, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Corinne. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions here at the Embry-Riddle campus in Prescott, Arizona. I am an Embry-Riddle alumna myself. I graduated from our Prescott campus in May with my degree in air traffic management. And I'm currently a master's student on our worldwide campus. So I can really speak to Embry-Riddle from all aspects of our degree programs and from the student experience as well. So let me start my timer here. Okay, there we go. So as you can see from our slide here, we do have 2 campuses. We have a campus in Prescott, Arizona, which is about an hour and a half north of Phoenix. And then we also have a campus in Daytona Beach, Florida. Embry-Riddle is best known for our aviation. Of course, we do have a professional pilot program. And then we have been ranked #1 in aerospace engineering by US News and World Report for not 1, not 2, not 3, but actually for 20 years. So that's something we're really proud of, constantly improving to meet industry standards. At our Prescott campus, we have the first and only College of Security and Intelligence. So for anyone who's interested in being a secret agent or working for the FBI, the CIA, anything like that, this is the place for you. We have the first and only aerospace physiology program of its kind at our Daytona Beach, Florida campus. And we are an ABET accredited institution, which is a super important accreditation if you are looking at any sort of engineering and technology degree. So a little bit about our two campuses. Our Daytona Beach, Florida campus is the bigger of our two campuses. We have around 7,000 students over there in Florida. Average class size, you can see, is really small, actually about 27. As a student, I never had a class size that was that big. So I can speak from experience that you really get to know your professors. You really get that one-on-one attention, which makes your educational experience that much more valuable. At our Daytona Beach, Florida campus, they do compete in the NCAA Division II and the Sunshine State Conference as well. They have Army, Air Force, and Navy ROTC there. At our Prescott campus, we have 3,000 students, and we compete in the NAIA division for our intercollegiate sports, and we have Army and Air Force ROTC. So what really separates the two campuses is a question that I get a lot. And the big thing is that it's just the campuses. We do have 5 colleges of specialization at both campuses. We have our College of Security and Intelligence in Prescott, or our College of Security in Daytona Beach. We have a College of Engineering, College of Business, College of Arts and Sciences, and of course, College of Aviation. So it really just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Prescott's very high desert, small town, only an hour or an hour and a half or so away from the Grand Canyon. Very mountainous. We do get all 4 seasons. Actually, about a month ago, we got 2.5 feet of snow, which was super fun. And of course, Daytona Beach is only 5 miles from the coast. So it just kind of depends on the vibe that you're looking for. And of course, if you're able to, I highly encourage you to come visit those campuses because that's the best way to figure out which one is the best for you. Outcomes is, of course, the reason why you go to college. 94% of Embry-Riddle graduates are continuing education in graduate school or are employed within their degree field within 1 year of graduation. So that's super important to note because the national average right now is around 38%. So we are actually nearly triple that for our students to be employed directly within their degree fields immediately after graduation. A big part of this is our career services department. You can pop in there whenever you want, your freshman year, your sophomore year, it doesn't matter when, and they can help you get internships, co-ops, and set you up for job experiences so that you are prepared to enter the industry with as much experience as you are able to have. So how do you become an Eagle? Well, of course, the first step is to apply. Our application is online. We do not have a Common App or any coalition applications. So go online to our website and apply. We ask for your transcripts from high school or any community college transcripts that you have, 2 letters of recommendation and an essay or a resume. Those last 2 are technically optional. However, I highly encourage you to submit them because it helps us get a really full picture view of who you are. We try and look at you as holistically as possible. We are a test optional school, so if you don't have your ACT or SAT scores, or if you just weren't super thrilled with them, that's totally fine. You don't have to send them to us and it will not be put at a disadvantage. Something that is super important about any college you're going to, but that I especially want to highlight about Embry-Riddle is that we do not require any additional application for financial aid. Oh, my screen went away. There it goes. We do not require any additional application for financial aid. We are a need blind institution, so we aren't going to look at your FAFSA right away, but we do offer merit scholarships, and every student who's accepted to Embry-Riddle is automatically reviewed for those scholarships. We do accept any extra scholarships that you have, and of course, filling out your FAFSA could potentially be helpful for you down the road. So as I wrap up here, the thing that I really want to leave you with about Embry-Riddle is that if you are a driven student looking to be really specialized in your degree field, whether that's in engineering, aviation, business, security and intelligence, or some sort of space discipline, you are looking at the right spot. Embry-Riddle Eagles are constantly superseding the expectations of their peers, and our students are constantly getting hired and being really sought after in industry. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the Q&A. As I said, I can speak from the admissions perspective and from the student perspective. So that is it. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Corinne. Okay, next up, we are going to Northern Arizona University.
Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Hit me up in the chat. I think you can though. But thank you everyone for joining us this evening. My name is Haley Solonika and I am a regional admissions officer with Northern Arizona University. You can see my contact information on this screen. Feel free to take a picture of it real quick if you'd like. Otherwise, I can always put it into the chat afterwards. But feel free to contact me, whether it's tonight or way down the road. I do want you to have my contact information. Now, if you're not too familiar with NAU, we are located in Flagstaff, Arizona. We're about 2 hours north of Phoenix, and we are up in the mountains at 7,000 feet elevation. So this means we're a little bit different than the rest of Arizona. For starters, we do get all 4 seasons. So students who have maybe lived in a warmer climate for most of their life, Flagstaff can be a really fun place to experience living in the snow. And as you can see in one of those pictures there, you can see some students walking to class in the snow. And something that I love about our campus and love to highlight is that we have heated sidewalks. So that's why they are magically walking on a pretty clear path, but I think it's like one of my favorite things about our campus. I also do get questions about how hot it gets in Flagstaff, and I'm happy to report we've never had a day over 100 degrees. We're a very outdoorsy town, and we are the world's first international dark sky city. So this means that we control light pollution throughout Flagstaff, which depending on where you're coming from, if you're coming from a city, it's really cool to be able to see more stars than maybe you're able to wherever you live now. We do have over 20,000 students on our campus, and we have about 100 different majors. I really would encourage you to look up on our website our majors, because you're not going to find a full list in this presentation, just given the time we have. But I am more than happy to answer questions about our majors in the Q&A, so feel free to drop any questions in there. We do have some pretty unique ones, including a forestry major, which is not as common at some colleges and pretty unique to Flagstaff because we are surrounded by the largest forest on the continent. And then we also have a Navajo language major, which is also pretty unique to NAU. Now, I think one of the best things about going to college in general is just all the different clubs you can join, all the resources that become available to you. And at NAU, we have all those things that you could possibly think of and more probably. You can see just a super, super short list highlighted on this screen, but I really do think NAU has done a great job of creating resources for every type of student. We have over 400 clubs and organizations you can join, whether it's academic, cultural, professional, just for fun. We have tons of different options. And if you don't happen to find anything you like, you can always start your own club on campus. So no matter where your interests lie, I really do recommend getting involved in your campus. Students who are involved on campus are more likely to have a higher GPA, and they're more likely to graduate in 4 years. Now, NAU was founded back in 1899, and being in Arizona, as you might expect, the majority of our students are coming from Arizona. But with that said, almost 40% of our students are coming from all over the place. We have students representing all 50 states. We have students from over 75 different countries. And like I mentioned, in a typical year, NAU has over 20,000 students. So we've grown a lot since our first class. We had 23 students in our first class. So we're pretty excited about all the growth we've had. And I'll talk about one of our traditions later on that I think is pretty cool to visually see that change. But about half of our student population are first generation students, meaning their parents didn't graduate from a college. So we have a lot of different programs for first generation students. And I really do think that it's worth taking part in those organizations just to help you have a smoother transition to college and just another resource for you while you're on campus. Moving on to our application process, our application is open. Our application is fairly simple to fill out depending on how you do it. There is a way that you can enter in all of your own classes, and I do recommend putting them in yourself manually. You will get your admissions response a lot quicker, but these are kind of the core classes that we are looking at, and we are looking at a GPA based on just these courses listed on the screen. If you do have any questions specifically about your courses, please feel free to email me and we can definitely talk more one-on-one. But students who have at least a core GPA of a 2.5, and again, that core GPA coming from these classes will be considered for admissions. We do allow up to 2 deficiencies in these courses, either if you didn't take a class or if you had maybe failed a class or something, as long as they're not in the same subject area. And also we are test score optional, so SAT, ACT not required, so you don't need to send those to us. Now, if you're coming from one of these yellow states highlighted in the top of the screen there, you will be part of our Western Undergraduate Exchange Program. So this is a tuition program for students, and you can see the tuition listed up there along with some additional estimated costs. These are estimated costs, so those are subject to change, and I would encourage students to kind of look more into budgeting as they're getting closer to going to college, but I'll save that if anyone wants to talk about financial aid after. And then we do have a couple WUI merit scholarships. So we do offer other scholarships that students can apply for, but these ones students do not have to apply for. These are automatic. Basically, to be part of this program, you're going to fill out the application. You're going to put in your address. We'll see where you are. We'll know you're part of WUI, and you'll automatically be reviewed for these scholarships. So again, I'll put my information in the chat. Feel free to ask me any questions and reach out to me after. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley. Okay, next up, we are going to Prescott College.
Thank you so much. I will go ahead and share my screen here as soon as I'm able. There we go. So hi, thank you all so much for spending some time with us this evening. My name is Callan Peterson, and I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here at Prescott College. I just want to start off by saying that we're super excited that you're interested in learning more about colleges in Arizona, and I'm happy to share some more about Prescott. To get started, I of course want to talk about location. Prescott is a small, private liberal arts university with a focus on social and environmental justice. And we're located in beautiful Prescott, Arizona, just like Embry-Riddle. We're about an hour and a half north of Phoenix, up in the Bradshaw Mountains, settled right on the edge of the Prescott National Forest. Our location makes us a perfectly suited launching point for both our experiential field-based learning and all of the outdoor activities that the Prescott area is famous for, such as hiking, rock climbing, biking, kayaking, and that's really great. But Prescott College is not just about our wonderful location. We are about our students. The key principle behind Prescott College is to educate our students to make a living, making a difference. Students who come to Prescott want to be the difference that they want to see in the world, and that's why we call our students change makers. Our graduates go off to become community organizers, founders and CEOs of non-for-profits, and even US senators. And our partnerships with organizations such as the US Forest Service, ECOSA Institute, AmeriCorps, Veterans Association, and many more mean that our students are getting the career support they need in college and then stepping right out into the jobs that they want. Prescott supports our students towards this goal not only by these different areas, but also by taking a very different approach to education that has won us several awards for innovation. First off, we follow an experiential model that puts our students in classes that cap at 20 students and average 11. Students then split their class time between hands-on based fieldwork and discussion-based Socratic seminars. This means that students aren't spending all of their time stuck in 200-person lecture halls, taking notes and taking tests. Instead, our students are assessed through projects, presentations, papers, and internships. This allows students to have greater direction over their learning, and because of our small class sizes, students get the direct learning support that they need to be successful. We are also a block schedule school. This means that our students don't take all of their classes concurrently. They instead take just one class at a time for 4 weeks. This allows for both greater dive into their topic of study and more opportunities for field work and internships. All of this together makes our students the drivers of their education, having the ability to direct not only the model of their learning, but also having direct control over their degrees. Speaking of degrees, Prescott has a large number of undergraduate fields of study, but our most popular include our Bachelor's of Science and Bachelor's of Arts in Environmental Studies, our top in the nation adventure education degree, our Psychology and Human Development program, education, a BFA in Arts and Letters, and our top 10 in the nation Sustainability Development Bachelors. And of course, like I said, there's many more. But We also offer dozens of master's and PhD programs, including social justice and community organizing, resilient and sustainable communities, sustainability leadership, sustainable food systems, MS in counseling, education, environmental studies, and of course more. And one of the really cool things with those is that all of our master's degrees are available as a tuition-free accelerated option, where students complete their bachelor's and master's in just 5 years, and they get their master's tuition free if they do that option. Another way that we encourage our students to take advantage of their hands-on learning is through a huge variety of remote and field-based blocks and semesters. We have international field stations that we own in Masailand, Kenya, Kino Bay, Mexico, Telemark, Norway, and Costa Rica. And having access to this kind of global campus of Prescott College campuses is really unique. We also offer all sorts of different domestic opportunities, the most popular being our Grand Canyon semester, but also our Consortium of Innovative Environments in Learning, SEAL, and Eco League partnerships. Now, there's a dozen other things that make Prescott College great, but I'll keep my list short because of time. First one being our holistic admissions process. At Prescott, we don't want to just get to know you as numbers on a paper. We want to know you as a person. For that reason, we require students, yes, to submit their transcripts, but also an admissions essay and a personal reference with their application. Oh, and our application is free because we never want finances to be a barrier to students applying to college. In terms of community, student life, and housing, we have an incredible student community with dozens of student-run clubs, a beautiful campus, and we're just blocks away from historic downtown Prescott. We also have some incredible LEED Platinum certified dorms, and these are actually the dorms that our incoming students live in. In terms of affordability, Prescott College is one of the most affordable private colleges out there. People frequently think private, they think pricey. That is not the case. 99% of our undergraduate students receive financial aid, or institutional aid, I should say, and are up to $25,000 per year merit scholarships, makes us very affordable. And because we're a private school, we don't have an out-of-state tuition. So you're paying the same no matter where you're coming from. So what to do next? Stay connected. You can find out more, schedule a tour, chat with me, all on our website. And I'll actually put my contact information in the chat box so you don't have to jot it down real quick. Thank you so much. And I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Awesome. Okay. Next up, we have the University of Arizona with Molly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Molly Ingram. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am Assistant Director of Admission on the West Coast for the University of Arizona. Like my colleagues Lala and Haley here tonight, I am also based in California in the Bay Area, but I would be happy to work with any of you wherever you're located with your questions about the University of Arizona. We are Arizona's oldest university, founded back in 1885, before Arizona was even officially a state. And back then, we only had 3 students on campus, and this building that you see here, Old Main, that was our first building. Since then, our campus has grown significantly, both in student size and location. Down here, you can see our beautiful 1 square mile campus, and on that beautiful 1 square mile campus, we do have a little over 35,000 undergraduate students. We do get students from all 50 states, as well as 120 different countries who choose to come to Tucson, which is where our campus is located, which is about 100 miles south of Phoenix. Now, as you can see on this slide here, we have over 100 different undergraduate degree programs for you to choose from. This is just a very short list of some of the programs that we offer, and some popular programs do include architecture, engineering, which we have 15 different kinds of, nursing, business, the College of Fine Arts, and you're going to hear later from my colleague Erin in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Now, one thing that's really unique about the University of Arizona is that we are the AAU's only member from the state state of Arizona. If you're not familiar with the Association of American Universities, this is an invitation-only organization comprised of 65 member universities in North America that are at the highest level of research activity. If you haven't heard of the AAU, you've certainly heard of other schools like Stanford, Berkeley, UCLA, and the University of Arizona is very proud to be amongst great company, just indicating the kind of research that we have going on our campus. In fact, recently we were designated as the third top producer of Fulbright scholars in the country. So if you come to the University of Arizona, you are going to be getting a world-class education with some really excellent faculty and staff. And despite the fact that we are a very large university, we do have a wonderful student to faculty ratio of 15:1 and an average class size that's under 30 students. And here you can see that our honors college, it's going to be even smaller class sizes because a little under 5,000 of our 35,000 undergraduate students are in the honors college. Now, honors isn't tied to any one particular major, so you could study anything at the honors level. And more than half of our honors college students do go on to grad school, law school, med school of some sort. In fact, if you are interested in medical school, we do have the MedCats Early Assurance Program in conjunction with our medical school and the Honors College. Here's just a really short list of some of the research opportunities that we have going on. We are very proud of the fact that we are leading the first NASA mission of its kind to collect samples from a near-Earth asteroid Bennu, and that is called OSIRIS-REx. We also have the largest institute for optics education in the United States, and we do have the Mirror Lab on campus where they are creating mirrors for the Giant Magellan Telescope. So lots of really cool things going on at the University of Arizona. Aside from our wonderful research and academics, we have so many things you can do when you're not studying to have fun. We have a lot of school spirit. I'm sure you can tell by my virtual background that we love our sports teams. We are a Division I school in the Pac-12 conference, so we play other Pac-12 schools like USC, UCLA, Oregon, and so forth. If sports isn't your thing, don't worry. We have clubs that are related to pretty much any academic, cultural, religious, pop culture interest that you can think of. We also have a great student government that hosts the nation's largest student-run carnival, Spring Fling, which has been going on in Tucson for over 40 years. So regardless of what your interests are, there is going to be a club or organization for you. Maybe you're interested in joining a fraternity or sorority, or maybe you want to join a new club and create something where you can leave your legacy at the University of Arizona. We are a very student-centered university. We want to make sure that you are going to be successful beyond your years at the University of Arizona. So we have different programs like Life Lab and student engagement and career development, where you can go to get interview practice or advice on a cover letter that you're writing for that internship that you're going to land through our 100% engagement program. We also have a program for students with learning and attention differences called the SALT Center, which stands for Strategic Alternative Learning Techniques. Now, if you've never been to Tucson before, it is a really fun place to go to college. This is downtown Tucson, which is about 2 miles away from campus. And there are a lot of really great boutiques and shops and restaurants down here. And we have the nation's best 23 miles of Mexican food. So come hungry. There are wonderful restaurants here. Okay, so now let's talk about the application. I'm very excited to announce that our application is going to be open on July 1st this year. So if you are going to be a senior and you want to apply to the University of Arizona before you go back to school after the summer, you can fill out our application on our website, the Common Application, or the Coalition. Similar to my other colleagues here tonight, we do look at this coursework, which we call the Sweet 16, and we're going to look at the rigor of courses, overall grade trend, as well as your extracurricular activities. You do not need to write an essay and you do not need test scores. Once you turn all of that in, you will get an admissions decision in 2 to 4 weeks. Now I'm so excited to pass it over to Erin in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and she's going to tell you about over 20 of our different wonderful CALS majors. Thank you, and go Wildcats.
Thank you, Molly. Let me share my screen. My name is Erin England, and I'm one of the recruitment coordinators for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at the University of Arizona. So we are one of 20 different colleges at the university. We're all on that main campus in Tucson, Arizona. The entire campus is 1 square mile. From one side to the other is about a 20-minute walk. We also do have a cat tran that takes you around campus free of charge. So if you don't want to spend 20 minutes walking in the beautiful sunny weather at 300 days of sunshine in Tucson, you can hop on the cat tran and take it from one side to the other. But like I mentioned, I am from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. So our majors really focus on getting you hands-on experiences at the undergraduate level. So if you want to become a veterinarian, we have one of the very few veterinary science undergraduate degree programs. And we're very proud to say that we are home to the very first public Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program in all of Arizona. Like Molly mentioned, we have a great medical program as well. We're home to the only 2 public medical schools in Arizona as well. And a lot of our students from the undergraduate program will go on to that. So say you're interested in microbiology, or maybe you want to do our newest major, precision nutrition and wellness, and you want to focus on the DNA and how your food affects your DNA. Or maybe you want to focus more on our applied biotechnology major, which focuses on fermentation. We also have some unique majors like retailing and consumer sciences, or personal and family financial planning, which gives you experience working as a financial planner, and you can go on to get a certified financial planner certificate. We also have our fashion industry science and technology degree. So a lot of people hear College of Agriculture and Life Sciences and they don't think you can study fashion in our college, but you absolutely can. Things like food safety or agricultural education, or maybe you want to work with kids and study family studies and human development, or you want to study with animals and you want to work with horses. We have over 100 horses at our equine center. That's about 20 minutes east of campus. We have a lot of hands-on experiences for students who really want to learn within the industry to then take that onto either a graduate program, medical school, dental school, or maybe you want to just work in the field, and you can absolutely do that with our degrees. Now, we thrive on our students to get involved on our campus. Like Molly mentioned, we have over 600 clubs and organizations for you to choose from, but we also thrive on giving our students opportunities to do research. This picture right here is one of our nutritional sciences faculty members, and they are actually working on research at Banner Health, which is right next door to our campus. And what they're doing is they're trying to figure out how our bodies react to different types of cancer and then the chemotherapy treatments associated with that. And so what they're doing is they're figuring out how can the food in our bodies actually help us react with the reactions to that chemotherapy. That's just one of many research opportunities that you can have at the university. And if you want to take a part in research, it's absolutely available for you. We also encourage our students to do internships. This right here is one of our greenhouses on campus. Our students are working with faculty members to actually grow in greenhouses. One of our students did an internship a couple of years ago with faculty members and created a greenhouse that went down to Antarctica that they are hoping to get onto Mars. So there's a really cool opportunities and education and academic opportunities within those internships as well. This is one of our students, Julia. She did an internship at the Reed Park Zoo in Tucson, which is one of our local zoos. We also have internships at aquariums as well. Again, like Molly mentioned, we have over 600 clubs and organizations, from anything from like bubble soccer to the pre-vet club. We have tons of opportunities for students to take part in. This one is our equestrian team. We also have our plant sciences club. And then we also have leadership opportunities for students. Several of our students at the university are involved in leadership opportunities, and within our college specifically, we have 3 leadership groups that you can take part in. This one in particular is the CALS Ambassador Program. They usually help me facilitate some of these presentations. They go out to high schools and talk about their experiences, and then they meet up with prospective students and show them around campus. We also encourage our students to study abroad. No matter what your major is, we want you to study abroad because you do become more of a globally mindful person. Some of our students are going to Namibia to study conservation. We have other students who go to Italy and study Mediterranean diet and health. This is one of our group of students who went on that Mediterranean diet and health study abroad. And what they did was they study how food messes up our metabolism depending on where you are in the world, or maybe helps our metabolism, and why our body can process different foods in different ways. Now, one thing Molly didn't mention is that we have tons of merit-based scholarship for students who qualify for that, depending on what your core 16 classes are. In addition to that, we also have over $1 million in scholarships that we award each and every year just to our College of Agriculture and Life Sciences students. So as an admitted student, you are eligible to apply for that $1 million. So if you're a junior right now, you're going to be a senior. That will open up in January. If you're already admitted, you can start applying, and that deadline is April 1st. My contact information is up on the screen, recruitment@cals.arizona.edu. I will also put it in the chat, but we also encourage you to visit our virtual tour and also our virtual experience at studentexperience.cals.arizona.edu. You can see our FAQs and see our virtual tour, and also you can set up a one-on-one meeting with me. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Erin. Okay, well, we have a few minutes left, so we have time for a couple last questions. So I'm going to ask our presenters if you want to hop back on screen. I'm going to share my screen one more time. And so the first question we have for you is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And so we will go in the same order you presented in the first time.
There we go. Okay, so what advice would I give someone going through the college search process? Do your research. I recommend checking the websites of all the universities you're interested in, going to their admissions websites, looking at the requirements. I recommend visiting. You may think you're interested in this school and maybe location or weather is important to you. So, and then the last thing, majors. A major is very important. Does this university have something that you are passionate about that you want to study in, or are you going just because it's like a popular university? So, location, research, does it have the major, and then admission requirements, I think are very important when you're first starting your college search.
I would say for my biggest tip for someone starting their college search is to make sure that your communication lines are open. So many times I try and call a student to ask them, hey, we need your transcript, or hey, we need this letter of recommendation, and the voicemail's not set up, or it's the wrong phone number. Make sure that you establish that good communication with your admissions counselor, because we are here to help you. We can't help you if we can't reach you. So make sure that you are really being proactive at establishing that professional and open line of communication.
Yes, I agree with that. And I'm going to kind of piggyback off that a little bit. Just communication is huge. We are the people that are going to be your first contact and really the biggest resources for you. So my piece of advice would be to create just a college-centered email. So that way you can use it for the FAFSA, you can use it to apply, you can use it to communicate with your admissions counselor at all your schools, and you can kind of keep all that important information like all in one spot. I wish I would have thought of that when I was going to college, but someone brought it up at some point, and I'm telling everyone to do that because I think it's such a great idea.
So if we couldn't hit that point hard enough, that would of course always be my first as well, because that really is the way that we're going to get to know you. Of course, not to beat that horse too much, I'll say second most important thing, visit the schools you're applying to. You're never going to know which school has the right feel to you until you physically go there. I was a high school guidance counselor for 8 years, and I saw it all the time. Students were in love with a school online, got there on personal, and not really for me. And so go and physically visit the place, put your feet on the campus.
My advice would be to look for scholarships. Erin mentioned that we have a lot of really great scholarships at the University of Arizona. As soon as you've been admitted to the University of Arizona, you'll have access to a website called Scholarship Universe. And a lot of students, they don't take the time to apply to these scholarships because they think, oh, it's only $500 or it's only $1,000, but those can add up. And if other students aren't applying for it and you are, your chances of getting those scholarships are going to be a lot better if the competition isn't too fierce. I know that we have some that are specific to students in California and other parts of the country. So definitely be looking for other scholarships that you can apply for at any college that you choose to go to.
I think the biggest thing is to ask questions, reach out to us, ask anything that you want to know about a college, and see what our answers are. Compare schools. I think that's really important as well, but definitely just ask any question that you think of. No question is a stupid question. We want to answer those questions for you, and that's what we're here for.
Some great advice. Okay, we have time for one more. So what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? I know some of you mentioned some already, so feel free to expand on that or pick another. And we will start again with Arizona State, right?
Yes. Let's see. I would say I really like the curtain of distraction during basketball games. There was one time Michael Phelps jumped out and he had all his medals on in a Speedo. And there was another time there was like a T-Rex with his like hand. So the curtain of distraction is you don't know what's going to pop out. And when we're playing basketball against an opposing team, we obviously want them to miss their free throws. So yeah, that curtain of distraction, it is full of mini surprises. So that's just super entertaining. And we have a lot of school spirit at ASU. So that's what I really like.
My favorite Embry-Riddle tradition is October West. So this is our homecoming. And to my knowledge, we are the only college that puts on a air show for our students. We don't have a football team, but we sure do love our planes at Embry-Riddle. So we actually bring in quite a few different acrobatic airplanes, military aircraft, old historic aircraft, fly them around. You get to go stand on the runway. They give you pancake breakfast and you get to connect with alumni and corporate recruiters who come up to hire our students. So it's just a really fun time to get to really get in that Embry-Riddle spirit.
I think my favorite NAU tradition is the freshman letters, which I wish I had a picture of it to show you guys, but it's basically like all the freshman class gathered together and they spell out NAU, and we've done it for a very long time. So it's really cool to look back, and it actually started out with just the outline of the letters, and then you can see when it switched to them being all filled in. And even last year, we weren't able to gather the students all together, but we did a virtual version and every freshman sent in a photo. And I think it's still it's going to be a really cool photo to look back on. But, you know, we're planning on getting back in person and doing those again, but I just really like that tradition at NAU.
At Prescott College, my favorite event is always graduation, because we have a very unique graduation ceremony, different than any other school I've ever seen, where each student who's graduating chooses a faculty member to sort of give them away, as it were. And each faculty member talks about that student for a couple of minutes. And then the student gets the opportunity up on stage to talk for 2 to 3 minutes about their goals, what they're doing next, what job they're stepping out into, and having that opportunity, that kind of platform to see where the students are going in their lives at graduation is really awesome.
For the University of Arizona, I would say I really like our motto, Bear Down. If you've never heard of it, sometimes people are confused when they think, oh, is your mascot a bear? Is it a bear cat? No, that's Cincinnati. We are the Wildcats, but our motto, I encourage you to look up the full story, but basically John Button Salmon, he was a really renowned student at the time. He was a quarterback on our team. Unfortunately, he was in a fatal car crash, so he ended up dying at the hospital, but the last words that he told the coach when he came to visit him before the big game was, tell the team to bear down. And we really do have that kind of perseverance and determination with that motto that I've really seen the university just gather together, especially during this pandemic. So I think that the community and the spirit around that motto is very strong.
I think my favorite thing at the University of Arizona is Spring Fling. It's a whole student-run carnival. It's one of the largest ones in the U.S. that's run by students. All the proceeds go right back into our clubs and organizations, and specifically in our college, a lot of our students depend on that money, and they really like those events. They serve food, they work the rides, and they really enjoy it. And it's really fun to see families and students come in and just get to have a really great night.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to all of our presenters for speaking tonight, to all of our students for attending. Students, when you close this window, you will see a very quick 4-question survey pop up. If you don't mind taking a few minutes to complete that, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered. We will have additional fairs for you in April and May, so be sure to check the StriveScan website where you signed up for those additional opportunities. As well as the session recording will be there within about a week or so as well. So thanks again for being here. Have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.